Hello Algebra 2 class. I wanted to make a video to help prepare you for the Chapter 1 test. So I hope this is a good help for you and you can, pause at any time and try the problems on your own. So here we go. So these are questions that I think you will struggle with that I saw on the test, so I changed the numbers a little bit, but they're fairly the same. So I wanted to try one of these again. We did a couple of these in class. So what you want to do is you want to pick a number that falls in this range. So that's between 1 and 1.5. So I'm going to pick x equal to 1.2. Any number in that range will give you the same answer. So what you want to do is plug in x for each of these. So this is 1.728. Just go through and do 1/2 times 1.2 is 0.6. And then negative square root of 1.2 is negative 1.1. You can do all that in the calculator. And then negative 1.2 squared, like this, is negative 1.44. And then if I plug in here, I get 4. So I want to put them in decreasing order. That means I want the largest first. So that's 10x over 3. That's the largest. So I kind of cross off. And the next largest is x cubed. Cross that off. And the next largest is 1/2 x. Cross that off. And the next largest is the square root of x, because negative 1.1 is a bigger number than negative 1.44. It's more positive. And the smallest number up here is negative x squared. So you just got to plug in a number, and it makes a very difficult problem easy. Here's a converting question, but it's a little bit harder than some of the ones we practiced a lot. So you have to know that there's 12 inches in 1 foot, and that's how we're going to relate inches to miles, is we're going to use the 5,280 feet in 1 mile. So I always start off with what they gave me, and I put that over 1. So 45,000 inches over 1. And then I times that by, I'm going to put my inches in the bottom, so that means I'm putting 12 inches down here is to 1 foot. That's crossing off your inches unit. It's gone. Times, now I can go into miles. So I'm going to put the 5,280 feet down here, because that cancels the feet unit out. And you can see that right here. Now the only unit you have left is miles. So we have it set up right. So since 45,000 is in the top, I'm going to keep it in the top, and I'm going to put miles with it over, multiply these two numbers, okay? 12 times 5,280. So this becomes a division problem. This is approximately 0.71 miles when you divide it out. See, miles are a lot bigger than inches, so there shouldn't be as many miles as there were inches in the question. So this is another difficult one that was on the review. A polynomial expression is shown below. So the difficult part of this is solving for this variable. You guys are used to doing these questions as far as, you've simplified them many times. It's just actually doing the work to figure out what that a value is. So the first thing I do is I distribute this negative through, and then I'll just pretend like I'm just solving this question. So with 3x cubed, I'm going to rewrite the first one, plus 4x squared minus ax minus 2x cubed minus 5x squared plus 3x. That was my distributing. Now I combine like terms. That's x cubed. I combine these two to get negative x squared. Now these are the two that I'm not sure about. So I'm just going to write plus, and I'll put the negative a plus the 3 together with x. So it's like I'm adding them, but I'm not sure what a is yet. So this goes with this term. And then this term goes with this. So we have to match up this with the negative 5. So basically, negative a minus 3 equals negative 5. So that I'm going to add 3 to get negative 2. And now I find that a is 2. So there's other ways to do that. If it's multiple choice, you can plug the different values of of the a or whatever variable it is into the equation to see which one works. But you want to match up the like terms. Okay, so courtesy of Khan Academy, I stole some of their word problems, and if you want more practice, you can go to khanacademy.org and type in linear equations, and word problems will come up, and you can practice them. So this one, it says, Tom sells magazine subscriptions and earns $5 for every new subscriber he signs up. Tom also earns $40 weekly bonus regardless of how many magazine subscriptions he sells. If Tom wants to earn at least $82 this week, what is the minimum number of subscriptions he needs to sell? So you're looking at your variable is given in here, minimum number of subscriptions. So I'm going to call that my X. Minimum number of subscriptions. I could just say number of subscriptions, but this is what I'm doing. So I have $5 for every new subscriber. So that's going to be 5x. 5 for every new subscriber. He gets the 40 no matter what, so I'm going to add that on. And he wants to make at least 82. So he wants to make $82 or more. So you want to set up that. So first thing you want to do is subtract 40 from each side, which gets you this. And then when you divide by 5, you get greater than or equal to 8.4. So if we can't sell 8, if we sell 8 subscriptions, we're not going to make the 82. If we can't sell 8.4, we can't sell 0.4 per subscription. This is where we say 9 or more subscriptions. So you just have to try with word problems to answer it in the context of the problem. So 9 or more. Last one of the day. When 2 is added to 1/5 of a number n, the result is 3.2. Write and solve an equation for this problem. So to some of us, this is just as hard as trying to read Greek. And so I'm going to try to take it apart for you. So it's when 2 is added to. So 2 added 1/5 of a number. Of is a multiplying word. So I'm going to do 1/5 of n. That means times n. The result is an equal sign word. 3.2. So I wrote it. That was the hardest part. Now I got to solve it. So my strategy is to get rid of the denominator. So I'll multiply everything by 5, which is the least common multiple of all the denominators, which there's only one. So 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 1/5 is like doing 5 divided by 5. So it's 1. So that's just n. And then, believe it or not, 5 times 3.2 came out nicely, 16. So to me, the other problem was quite challenging, and now this one, all I'm going to do is minus the 10, and I'm done. N equals 6. So let's say you couldn't do this on a test, like you're just sitting there going, I'm absolutely never going to be able to do that, Miss Cowan. You're crazy. If the answer choices are numbers, like this one, work backwards. So you would take 6, and then it says 1/5 of a number. 2 is added to 1/5 of a number. The result is 3.2. So when we add 2 to 1/5 of this number, plus 2, we should get 3.2. So just double check that. Is 6/5 plus 2 3.2? And it should be. But this is how you can work backwards with the answer choices and make it make sense. So good luck on studying for your Chapter 1 test. I hope you found this video helpful. Please give me feedback on my video and let me know things that I could do to be more helpful in class. Also, you can go to your textbook and try problems in the Chapter 1 test review and Chapter 1 tests that are in the end of Chapter 1, as well as going to khanacademy.org and searching linear equations. Thank you and have a great night.